What would you?
Oh,
What would you, if you could pick a name to have that isn't your current name? What would you? What would you have your name?
Colonel Sanders.
You'd have the N-word, Colonel Sanders. Those weirdly. Never mind.
those are pretty awesome.
Those are weirdly linked somehow.
Those are.
I didn't say that. I don't know
I'd
what
probably
you're
go
talking
for
about.
something like Tyrone or Jamal. Something a little bit more, something cooler.
See, I would go for Matt instead of Matthew.
Oh, you shorten that hoe.
Yeah, no, I'd just legally shorten that up, John.
You should go by Thew.
I don't think I will, but I appreciate that you threw that out there.
That just rolls off the tongue so terribly.
I'm Matthew. Thew for
I'm
short.
Thew.
Me name Thew. I don't like Thew. I don't think I'm going to use Thew.
Thew. What's good,
You'd be the first person ever to do that, though. So that'd
the
be cool.
first Thewer. That sounds like Fuhrer. I didn't mean to say Fuhrer. I'm not off to a good start today.
You're over here like waving you're giving your heart to the crowd, dude. Careful.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do the second half of that. What'd you do?
I cramped my hand when I did that. I was like,
your smelly hand, your fingers that have smelled for 2 hours. Why do your fingers smell?
Good question.
Like, did you put him
actually
somewhere?
have a brain disease.
Dude, literally, like, no, this was 3 hours ago, bro.
He was complaining.
He was complaining that his fingers smell, and he just got in the call and immediately went, "Oh, what is that?"
It smells like shit and butt.
Oh,
that's crazy.
It smells like pussy, and I haven't been laid in forever. So that tells you something.
What did you?
What does that tell me?
Did you eat a tuna fish sandwich or
Yeah,
something,
what does that tell me?
Was it Billy, your mom?
Were you going clamming at low tide?
Your mom did give you a wicked wristy
lobster
earlier.
claws.
All right, are we? Is there?
Yeah,
we need to clap.
I've been recording for a bit.
It just starts at some point. We don't really know.
Yeah, it just starts. All right. Yeah, we need to clap.
Probably
All right.
have started.
3, 2, 1.
Solid
Not
clap.
too
solid
shabby.
clap,
Not too
solid
shabby.
Clap, solid clap.
That was a bitchy ass clap on my part.
There we go. I got close.
What is the agenda today? What is?
First of all, on the agenda, use code GOONS on GamerSupps to get 10% off.
That's so true.
Sorry, needed to get that in.
Code GOONS, GamerSupps, Grandpa's Ashes.
I've opened the sun on my other monitor. No, so I actually thought it would be fun. So I have been reading an book.
Oh my god, surprising.
Nerd.
Yeah, I know, surprising, shocking. Never did that before. But it's about cults. And I thought that we could talk about some cults, maybe pick our favorite of the groups that I've conjured up here, that I've grabbed. And we'll give some additional lore to the viewers who may not know about these cults. I pulled up their Wikipedia because I can't remember them very well. But yeah, I figured we could do that unless you guys want to do something else first, or what's the vibe today? How's everyone feeling?
I like the cult vibe.
You want to learn about cults?
Is this just a preamble, or are we doing the show?
We're going, baby.
We're going. We're doing it. We're in there.
Preamble.
What's up?
It just kind of starts. There's no like.
Yeah, we don't know.
I'm for it.
We sometimes do intro, obviously, when McNasty does his little dubstep intro, but I feel like we went a good 6 to 8 months of like not a single intro. We just kind of
it just starts mid like sentence.
It got to a point where literally the clap sync was in the podcast we were posting.
Yeah, it was like 30 minutes later.
Like towards the end or some shit.
I mean,
we're gonna raw dog this shit then, baby. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Rubber off.
Yeah.
I like the idea of going through this cult thing.
Okay, I got Frog Mug today
What
too.
about the Goons cult?
The Goons cult?
Cult of the Goons.
We could start a cult.
The thing is, what defines a cult? Right? What really makes a cult a cult?
I don't actually know what would define a cult versus like
I feel like it has to be
religion,
somebody,
right?
Somebody in the group is being viewed as a god, like is being worshipped.
Conduit to God.
You know, there's a whole like, you're like the prophet, or you're like a messiah, or you're touched by an angel, or
so
like
the actual definition of it is defined as a system or group of people who practice excessive devotion to a figure, object, or belief system, typically following a charismatic leader. So I think the leader part is what differentiates it from like a standard religion.
Right.
Also, like drinking the Kool-Aid and dying.
Yeah, dude,
that's always a good name.
That's rough. We might get into the lore of that later.
Yeah, we will.
Of what was that? But when that should happen, dude, Kool-Aid stocks fucking drop
By the death,
up.
By the death, man.
Purple Kool-Aid. I feel like people thought that was cool as fuck that like they used purple Kool-Aid.
Maybe in certain scenes, maybe in like the punk scene, but not. You weren't a parent in the 1980s or whatever giving your kids fucking Kool-Aid.
Purple Kool-Aid. There you go, buddy.
That whole thing was fucked up.
That was Heaven's Gate. So
no,
was it not? No,
that was Jonestown.
Jonestown is
Heaven's Gate was the people thought that
they thought the comet,
Haley's comet,
the comet
was a mothership.
Yeah, the 1974 comet. They thought that was theirs.
If they all wore Nikes, they would then go
the black Nikes. Yeah,
it's pretty good for Nike stock.
Yeah,
then,
Okay, which one was the?
Are all cults like stock market manipulation?
Yeah, dude, they're always in some way.
Yeah, use code GOONS and you can reach the highest form of human life. I don't know.
Yeah, so that was the People's Temple is what that was. That was the People's Temple cult. That was the purple Kool-Aid ones. That was Jim Jones, right? Yeah, okay. All right, well, which one do we want to start with? I got Heaven's Gate here. I got People's Temple. I got Aum Shinrikyo. I feel like
we should be doing a goddamn tier list out of this.
Do we want to do a tier list? This is not going to be pre-made. This is not going to be like pre-made. I feel, I don't know. What do we rate them on though? Like how cool they are, how
many people fucking died?
Yeah, how wicked the mass suicide was.
A coolness there's like a coolness factor. Like maybe the aspect is, would you have joined it? Is it cool enough to have joined?
Okay.
Like, how bad would it have been to be a member of the cult?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would it get you laid to be in this
all right. Cult? Who wants to have the tier list ready? Because I got all the Wikipedias open for these fucking cults.
Right, well, let's pause real quick and get we pause real quick and get a little thing.
We're doing a tier list. All right, I'm about it. Fuck it. Let's ball.
All right, we'll pause a little bit. Maybe while we make the tier list, we can maybe just have a little talk about cults in general. Do you guys know anyone, or have you?
Jared Leto, does he count?
Have gone to cults?
Does Jared Leto count?
Part of the Mormon cult?
I mean, what?
I do actually have.
Jared Leto was part of allegedly a part of a sex cult, right?
Well, he literally. Is it an island? I don't know if it's an island or like a big.
Why is it always an island?
It's always a fucking island. But he rents out this big fucking. I want to say it's an island or a farm, and he makes everyone wear white, and they just kind of like hang out and listen to music and stuff. I don't know if he like plays them his own music or what.
He's just sitting there playing 30 seconds of
just jams. They don't have a name.
There's a lot of different cults. There's religious cults. There's like communes. There's like all sorts of.
Is there
the commune ones? The commune ones are actually crazy popular.
Yeah.
Like I know somebody who went to one for. It was basically like it was supposed to be like a wellness retreat. You'd go there to, detox from too much cell phone usage and bad food and. Right. Things like that, stress in the world, and it was like literally like a straight up cult. Like they made you like praise the owner, like the person who formed the because
the commune.
Yeah, the commune, and like you had to like give a little portion of your food as like tax to them and stuff, even though they wouldn't eat it. Like it was just like
what the hell? They had a phantom tax.
The mental aspect of sharing your food and stuff, and it was so fucking weird. Yeah, it was. I forget what country they. I haven't talked to this person in years. I went to college with them, so I can't remember what country or anything it was in. But they said they had a good time otherwise.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that went into cults or communes, and for like a summer or whatever, and they're like, oh, we don't get paid. We just live on the commune and milk cows and all.
Well, dude, fucking.
You're like being Amish, but like instead of praising God, you're like praising some random dude who's here to fuck your wife.
Some guy, yeah. becoming an engineer, at least in Canada, I don't know about US, that shit's pretty much a cult. Not gonna lie, it's like
being an engineer.
Yeah, so I didn't actually finish it. I didn't finish engineering, but I went to school for automotive engineering. It was a split program between two schools, and then whatever. And at the graduation, they give you a ring, and everybody has to recite this pledge while putting on the ring, and like verbally say that they will never work for another job ever. They will always be an engineer, and they will not use their engineering abilities for fucking war and like all sorts of like weird shit you have to do. Yeah, you have to like recite all this thing, and everybody does it. It's super like weird and culty.
It sounds like some pussy shit. If I was gonna be an engineer, man, those are my skills. I can do whatever I want with them.
Yeah.
Right. Why put limitations on this bitch?
Yeah, if I want to use it for war, let me use it for war. If I want to make a fucking tank that does a backflip, fuck it.
If I want to strap 5 M80 fucking firecrackers to the end of a drone and fly it around willy-nilly, that's my goddamn right. It's fucking engineering, bitch. Fuck you, I got a degree.
Like any crackhead could do that. That's not really
dude.
Engineering type thing.
Just give a crackhead a DGI and 5 firework mortar rounds.
You probably sell it for meth, amphetamines.
Yeah.
Those are very expensive.
That is true, actually. Well, who would buy fireworks from a crackhead?
Well, I mean,
I would too.
My dad
would absolutely
Never
do
mind.
that.
Dude, I've talked about this on the podcast a long time ago, but when we were in Boston, I think it was, it wasn't fireworks, but me, fucking Smitty, the Clueless Guys, and Wildcat, I think it was, we're walking around Boston, and Tyler found this fucking homeless guy just wheeling around, just going down the street.
Hell yeah.
And the guy had a big pile of golf balls on him. And Tyler's like, well, he's not going to fucking use them. So he went up, he's like, can I buy the golf balls? Guy was like, no, I'll do it for $10. Tyler's like, all right, here's $20. And took all the golf balls. It was like right in front of him, and he's holding them up. He's like, guys, I got golf balls. He's not going to use them. And the guy's just sitting there looking up at it. It was so fucking funny. He was so drunk, dude. It was so bad.
Homeless people have wares.
Yeah, he would have definitely. If he had fireworks, we definitely would have bought fireworks out that guy. It was fucking awesome. That guy was pretty cool. Did we make a tier list? Anyone do that, or did we all get distracted?
No,
I was trying to work on it, but like, they want pictures and shit.
Oh my god!
I mean, we could just make like we could just do like a notepad and verbally make it.
We could just do it that way.
Okay.
Honestly.
Maybe the editor can make one.
Make
up.
it look
Yeah, if the editor feels like being cool as fuck.
Yeah.
All right. Well, first up, we got Heaven's Gate. I feel like that's one of the most popular ones, obviously.
So let's recap Heaven's Gate.
Okay.
Get the synopsis here.
So I have the Wikipedia. I will try to shorten it down the best I can. Heaven's Gate was a new religious movement known primarily for the mass suicides committed by its members in 1997.
Why are you laughing?
That's just an insane
died, man.
line. Yeah, well, you know what? Maybe they shouldn't have all.
They died doing some shit they fucking believed in, dude. And you're laughing.
These were the ones that were all wearing the black Nikes. These are the ones that made Nike stocks go way all the way up. But yeah, long story short, they
do it.
Yeah, they believed that they would be the evolutionary level above human by praising the comet.
Skeleton in the ground.
It was Halley's Comet. Right?
Yes, it was Halley's Comet.
Comet. One of the best comets, actually.
A great comet, honestly. It doesn't know that it killed a bunch of people.
If there's a comet that you should fucking kill yourself over, it would be
That'd be the
Halley's
one.
Comet.
Absolutely.
It's fucking pretty. It's pretty beautiful.
There's songs written about it and shit. It's a good comet.
Yeah, essentially they just believed that praising this comet and the ancient astronaut hypothesis. Wow, hold on, what is that?
That sounds interesting.
This guy doesn't know what the ancient astronaut hypothesis is.
Okay, the term ancient astronauts is
read a book, you dumbass.
Various forms of the concept that extraterrestrials visited Earth in the distant past. Okay, that makes sense. That's not that crazy of a.
Well, they built the pyramids. You've seen those discoveries.
Yeah, true.
And all the shit underneath the pyramids.
Yeah, they did that.
Yeah, so the aliens planted the seeds of current humanity millions of years ago.
Yep.
And then they come to reap the harvest of their work in the form of spiritually evolved individuals who would join the
Yes.
ranks of the flying saucer crews. That
Yep.
was their belief system.
So their idea, correct me if I'm wrong, was that they were all waiting for Halley's Comet to be directly overhead of them, and
Yep.
then they all wore the special Nike shoes that
The
would
special Nikes.
put them
So
like,
on the spaceship, so they
onto the
believed.
spaceship,
Yeah.
and they thought that if they killed themselves, that
They
their
would be on the
soul
spaceship.
would rise and be like collected by the people on the
By the
spaceship.
spaceship, yeah.
I'm sorry.
And
Can I get more context?
It turns out,
Darwinism,
they were all
that's finest.
it turns out when they died, they all just started going down and instead of up, and they went straight to hell.
Yeah,
for
straight to
killing
hell.
themselves.
No, that is actually, no, you got that 100% right.
What's
okay,
the
sorry.
context
They're
with the
all-
Nike shoe?
They're all in hell now.
So I don't
With
know
their-
why,
with
but
their
they
Nike
all,
shoes.
they all
Which-
had Nike. What were they?
That's a skill
were they-
Maybe they
issue.
were
Everybody goes
sponsored.
to heaven in Nikes, but
They weren't sponsored. What was it? Can you look up the rationale behind
Yeah, what's the
why they-
context behind
why
the
they
damn
why
shoe?
they did the
I
Nike
actually-
shoes?
that part
'Cause
I
I know
don't
there was
know.
a reason. I know there was a very
It's the Nike decades, right? Yeah.
what,
yeah. It was the black with the
they dipped in holy water. Like what?
Yeah.
what
No, there's. Is there any lore? Hold on. All right, I'm gonna read about how the.
did Jesus have Nikes on when he did the water
he
thing?
rose from the dead.
okay.
Just said, guys, just do it.
They low key might have just liked Nike.
Yeah. it was just
Okay,
like-
the prominence of the Nike shoes is just down to the founder's personal taste.
That's
Right,
crazy.
so he was like, we can't see these aliens looking like pieces of shit. We gotta look fresh as
You gotta
fuck.
have drip for the aliens.
Okay, all right, all
Dude,
right.
he's like going up to everyone before the guy's like, "Yo, crep check." He like puts their fucking.
I
fucking
quote,
foot on their shoes,
The aliens are gonna
crease
see
their
if those are
shoes.
creased.
Yeah,
They creased, you ain't getting into heaven.
They're creased.
The,
fuck, buddy.
The
Go
expert
straight to
said
hell.
he liked Nikes, and therefore everyone was expected to wear Nikes.
That's insane.
I
Expert
can't argue
opinion.
with that logic. I can't argue with that.
It's
with that logic.
bulletproof.
But yeah, so that's
pretty
the
good.
basis of them. There
your
was a
call.
lot more. They
No.
kind of moved around and stuff, but the whole basis is they believe that they were going to kill themselves. Their
Yep.
soul was going to be put onto a rocket ship where they would become one of the flying saucer people.
It's.
And
That sounds like Scientology.
I was gonna say it's similar
Not quite.
logic to that game that you made, or the video on that game that you made, McNasty.
Oh,
Soma.
Soma?
Oh,
Soma.
Yeah, where you get put
It's
on
like-
like a yeah.
The premise of that game was like consciousness is like a stream that can be like copy and pasted and interrupted, and like if your consciousness was downloaded from your brain into a robot, and you killed yourself,
Yeah.
there's still only one of you, and that's in the robot. And so these people in the game, spoiler alert, were like trying to put their like consciousness onto
An
like
arc.
a simulation of Earth.
Yeah.
That they were going to shoot into space because the Earth had ended because of a calamitous asteroid impact. And so, like, these scientists would like upload their brain into the thing and then immediately kill themselves, like, immediately,
Yeah.
so that there was a continuum of your consciousness instead of a divergence. So, they were onto something. If there was really aliens on Halley's Comet, then surely they're laughing, and we're not.
it's just a bunch of guys hanging out on Haley's Comet.
Dude, imagine
Just a bunch
they're
of
like,
dead
all right,
people
we're
with
here, and they're
knives.
like, yeah, they're like, oh, we're here, we're finally here, and they're like, all right, dude, now you're the janitor for the next 1,000 years.
Yeah. You have to clean up
Basic
comet
job.
poop.
We're
Yeah,
literally
we need
never
a-
gonna let
yep.
you die.
We're never
We'll
gonna
clean
let
up
you
shit
die.
forever.
Yep, and yeah, enjoy. We'll finger you occasionally.
Finger.
That's kind of
It's
worth.
my fantasy. Okay.
Okay,
They're
well, we got
aliens, and they're
got
hot.
our baseline of Heaven's Gate.
I ain't giving a
uh,
D tier.
D
I,
tier.
well, I feel like we just gotta. I
Yeah.
feel like we just gotta keep it. Let's go through them and then we'll reminisce back. We'll come back
Okay.
to them.
This
The
is pretty
Manson
weak
family.
sauce.
Honestly,
Oh!
I think we'll talk about the rating later, but I honestly think the Manson family one is lame.
So
I
the
think-
Manson family, it was Charles Manson. He
Yep.
had all of his cult like cronies, little
Yep,
acid
and they
people.
were-
He gave them a
most
lot
of
of
them-
acid.
Most of them came. Yep, they relied heavily on drugs, and most of them came from upper middle class and were women.
The
Early
Talk
20s.
about-
Most
talk
of the
about-
followers.
early 20 upper middle class women.
Yeah.
Talk about the devil.
Didn't he recently
True.
die?
Yeah.
I think
Char-
he
yeah,
just died like
yeah.
a couple years
20
ago.
Rest in peace.
Was it 2017.
Gone too soon.
I don't remember when he died. I feel like it was 2017.
He lived
But,
to like a ripe old age. They fucking bastard.
They didn't really like even believe in anything fun. They kind of just did drugs.
No, they.
Yeah.
As far
Well,
as
they
I'm
believed in a
aware,
race war.
yeah,
He believed in a race war.
Manson believed that they were going to cause a race war.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, he did. So he didn't believe that they were going to cause it. What he
Isn't that
did the
why
murder.
they killed. That's
He
why they
did,
killed
yes.
the actress.
So he believed that there was a race war that was going to happen in America. So he was gathering up his flock of little white bitches. I don't know what he thought they were going to do. I don't know if he thought they were going to they were going to fight for him or what.
I think the idea was that they were going to kill the actress and like blame it on like
black people. So, but the reason he did that is because he realized the reason people followed him is because he obviously led by fear of like there's going to be a race war. But then when people were kind of like, hey, I don't think there's going to be a race war. What are we doing here, man? That's when he got desperate and he sent those people to go kill Sharon Tate and whatever. I think there was 6 others. And then they were planning on blaming it on black people. And that's when that got caught. And so he wasn't that exciting. I mean, he kind of was just racism. Come on, guys.
He's just like, look, I'm fucking crazy and insane, and look, I carved a swastika into my forehead. Whoa.
Yeah. You know, he also man. Produced for the Beatles.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
You know,
he he was like, he wanted to be a musician.
He's a talented guy.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me find out exactly what it was. Pretty sure I want to say it was the Beatles, right? I'll Google it.
Charles Manson, talented guy. Just a shame that he, did all that horrible shit.
Was it the Beatles? What band was it?
Also, the guy has some unsavory opinions about minority groups, and that is pretty reprehensible.
Okay, no. So wait, hold on. I'm confused. Hold that lore. I don't know if it is accurate.
Oh, about Manson producing for the Beatles?
It was something. Dude, all I remember is he was some.
I know he was some kind of.
I did a McNasty there. My bad, guys.
Huh?
You misinformation.
You killed a bunch of babies?
I did a McNasty there. I just thoughtlessly said a thing and then
you
and then had to back onto that thing.
He's dead and a serial killer. You can say anything about him.
You can't slander him anymore.
He had a botched circumcision.
What? He thought that Helter Skelter, the song, was something to do with the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Yeah, you didn't know that? Helter Skelter from the Beatles.
No, I didn't know that. We're getting even deeper.
They thought Helter Skelter was like a whole thing. They were on a lot of acid, okay? It was a different time.
Yeah.
It was a different time where you took acid, you freaked out, you told your friends, hey, we got to go kill a random actress who's pregnant and blame it on black people.
And you went, okay,
And they
apparently,
went,
sounds good.
Apparently, Manson did think that Paul McCartney was dead for some reason.
Maybe the guy's not that crazy after all.
John Lennon
I thought
had
John
to
Lennon was
say,
alive not that long ago.
Yeah.
Really?
He was alive in 1980 Playboy interview where he said, it has nothing to do with me when asked about the murders.
Have you seen John Lennon's long ass crack?
Yes.
I'm the one that spread that misinformation. I showed you all that photo. He doesn't have a long ass crack. That is completely photoshopped. Look at Yoko Ono's ass, dude. Her mouth looks like, dude. Yoko Ono's ass in that photo looks like Homer Simpson's mouth. Like it's. You can show Swagger still. He'll like the long ass
image.
The long ass one.
I've seen.
Is that where his ass built like a CVS receipt?
Oh yeah.
Looks like a dinner roll.
Charles Manson kind of lame, kind of a fucking psycho.
I wouldn't put Charles Manson really up there in terms of.
No, he's not going to be. He's not going to be too high.
I wouldn't want to be in his cult.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, mostly because I'm not an upper middle class white girl in her 20s.
I don't think there's a single possibility that would ever land me in a cult with Charles Manson.
No, I don't think so.
I'd rather be in the silly alien Nike shoe one.
Honestly,
any day.
That one's at least you get Nikes. Yeah, you get Nikes.
And I'm not killing anyone but myself to be in servitude to aliens. So I would say it's a victimless crime, but I am pretty annoying. The aliens could get sick of me.
Yeah, they might be a little upset, but I don't think it'll be that bad. How many people killed themselves, by the way, on Heaven's Gate? Let me look.
I
Several.
want to say it was like 12 at most.
Is that it?
Oh, that's got to dock them some points there.
Heaven's
You can
Gate. I
only
mean,
get 12 suicides.
I think
mean,
it was a bunch of. They were all in a bunch of bunk beds. Imagine being the cop.
I
and be
mean,
like,
Jonestown
wakey,
was
time
like-
for school.
wasn't Jonestown like
Jonestown was
900?
hundreds.
Yeah,
It-
I'm pretty sure-
Jonestown
That one
I'm
was
pretty
a
sure it
lot.
was-
hundreds.
I'm pretty sure it was the
It
largest
was
death
like-
toll in American soil, like pre 9/11.
Well, it wasn't in American soil. It was in South American soil. It was in French Guiana.
Oh,
I wanna
was it when they
say-
actually
I wanna
killed
say it
themselves?
Was it French Guiana? Can you fact check that?
It sounds right. I'm like 90% sure you are
Yeah.
right.
Guyana or French Guiana?
Yeah,
Let me
they
look it up.
moved. Yeah, they moved to Guyana. Yes.
Yeah. So they were
Um,
there, and then they had the senator. We might as well talk about Jonestown now.
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
It
I
was
just like to point out, for Heaven's Gate, they rented a house and they had to pay $7,000 a month rent in cash to this guy, and then they killed themselves.
Holy
Dude.
shit.
Dude, imagine they were like, imagine they were like, hey, is it okay if we like hammer some holes in the wall, set up some bunk beds? The guy's like, dude, you pay $7,000 a month. I don't give a fuck. Kill yourself in there for all I care.
Dude,
They
Oh
took
my
that
God.
seriously.
hold on. I didn't know this. This same month, the group purchased alien abduction insurance that would cover up to 50 members and would pay out $1 million per person.
Who the dick shit
This was
offers
also-
that? State Farm.
I don't understand.
Heaven's Gate is fired, dude.
Who's
Who
giving
has
out,
that package?
who's giving out alien abduction insurance? Who's
Heaven's
who's
Gate
saying
is.
yes?
Heaven's Gate. They're the one offering the insurance.
Oh, so Heaven's Gate was the insurer.
Yes, they were the
Oh,
insurer.
now
They
that's-
were
How
the
do they have the
landlord.
capital to pay out
Dude.
the million if you got abducted?
I just think they assumed nobody was getting abducted.
Well, I guess they'd be safe. They wouldn't have to worry about ever paying it out.
Yeah,
But
like,
it's
and well, also,
abduction
if they do get
insurance.
abducted, who the fuck are you paying? You got abducted. What are we talking about here?
yeah, I guess their family.
Yeah, who gets paid? Their family left them because they joined Heaven's Gate. They don't.
you
I'm not
s-
talking to them.
Do you send an insurance agent to their door like, sir,
Are you
he's
here?
with the aliens now. Here's
All right.
money.
We can talk about the People's Temple now, which is Georgetown. Or Jonestown,
Yeah.
sorry, not Georgetown. Jonestown. Yes,
Jonestown,
they
Jim
did. They
Jones.
did move.
Georgeville.
Jonestown, yes. They
they-
did move to Guyana. They started in Indiana, which
Yeah, it
would
was
make more
Jim
sense for mass
Jones.
suicide.
Jim Jones was
Uh,
a very pious man,
mhm.
very religious, very devout.
Indianapolis, Indiana.
He
Um,
then got 4 or 5 people.
So he was,
to, join his thing, and then it kind of snowballed from there.
So he was all about Christianity, communism,
Based, but not
socialism,
good, not
with
good.
an emphasis on racial equality.
Oh,
But then he also
that's good.
hated the Bible, so I don't really know what
Okay,
his
that's,
vibe
that's
is.
that's fucking crazy. That's one hell of a.
That's
Some
like
conflicting
I feel like
ideals
he.
there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand why he killed himself. They're like there's just a battle in him all the time.
Yeah.
He's
He
like
was
the
also
far
fucking
right and
everyone
far
else's
left
wife.
at the same. Yes,
That's
he
probably
did
what
do
kept him
that.
alive.
You fucked
Also,
a lot of people's
for the
lives.
number, it was 909 people that killed themselves via the
Yep.
Kool-Aid.
It was
That
murder
was all
too.
at
It
once?
was. There were.
Yeah.
Some of them were
Holy
murdered.
shit.
Yeah, including
were
I think it was
murdered.
like 100 something children. But
Yep, they were
so the
that were
ones
murdered,
that
yep.
the ones that wouldn't drink the Kool-Aid, they
Or
just
that-
straight up
or-
just killed.
Yeah, they were, or that were too young to drink the Kool-Aid,
Yeah.
like babies and infants.
Yeah,
would
they just inject them.
squirt cyanide into their mouth.
I think it was injecting them. But
they
yeah, it was
injected
something
or
fucking
squirted into
crazy.
their mouth, yeah.
I
Insane.
don't even
Well, I
really
mean, you know-
understand what they believed in. I didn't really.
So
I didn't get to
they-
them in the book
Jawed.
yet.
It was literally like, yeah, it was literally a cult. I'm not sure about their ideas. Obviously, they
I
were
don't even
fucking considering the way it ended. So I don't really care to go for what they believe.
All he
All I
wanted to do
know-
was demonstrate his Marxism.
Yeah, they wanted to
That was
say, hey,
it.
look, we can have a free and open society of communism and blah, 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 blah. And then they did that in French Guiana. They created their own little thing. I think in
Yeah,
a
there's-
3-year period. They had every single person, every 909 people that were there, like sold all their belongings and all their possessions and used it as
Yeah,
funding for them
As
to
funding,
create
yeah,
this
they did do
commune.
that.
And then they had, it was a senator. It was a senator come out.
Oh
to
yeah,
visit
looking
them,
into it. Yeah,
to
yeah,
look
yeah.
into it, and he had
Senator.
went there with a camera crew.
Yeah.
They had gone there. They looked at this and said, "Wow, this is kind of fucking crazy." And then they went back and they were like, "Okay, we need to do something about this." And they went to the airfield and on camera the people from Jim Jones, who were armed, by the way, completely fully armed.
Yeah, no, they
With
had a
rifles,
fuck ton
everything.
of guns. Yeah.
Lit them up. Killed the senator, killed the camera crew, and then you had America right after that say, "Oh shit, it's time to send in our fucking military," and we're flying helicopters over the jungle over Jonestown, and you just see like literally 900 bodies on the
just
ground,
piled
purple.
around.
900?
Yeah,
909.
That is very much a lotting.
909.
It was
But he
numbers.
shot himself.
So they
So he
suicided
didn't-
when they got essentially.
Yeah, he didn't like the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
He shot himself.
Yeah.
Wow.
He went
Okay,
out
so
like a
the
man.
actual so the members way higher than 900.
Remember.
The members, apparently there's over 20,000 claimed but not substantiated. Confirmed though 3 to 5,000. One thing I did learn, so I probably should have brought this up like after I finished the book, but I literally read like 5 pages last night and then fell asleep, and I was like, that'll be fun to talk about, so I'll run it. So I don't know a
5
ton
pages?
about these
Dang.
yet. Yeah, I literally fell asleep holding a book.
Damn.
But yeah, so he would do what's called faith healing, where he would
Isn't that
basically
Terrell's
like
wife?
I don't
Faith
know.
healing.
He would
That's
basically
Faith Hill.
he would he would basically pray somebody better, and even though
E.T.
That's good. That's good of him.
even though people
Lots of
didn't
prayers.
actually get better, they liked him so much they would pretend for his sake and other members' sake that they did get better.
Wow, it's just like, dude, it's like biblical gaslighting.
It's literally they all gaslit each other. And because like they'd probably all tell each other that it worked, and then they'd be like, "Oh, it didn't work for me, but it seems like it actually worked for that person. Like, surely not all of us are lying, right?" And then they were all fucking lying.
It's like, I don't want to look like less connected to God. I better pretend I'm healed.
Yeah. But what's even? Yeah, they probably didn't want to be
It
like.
reminds me of those
a
like
heathen.
videos of like the Baptist church where the woman will go in and the guy like puts his hand on his head and is like, "I heal you," and she's like, "Oh my God, I feel the spirit."
And then they start freaking out
She
like,
like
yeah,
jumps
dude.
out of her wheelchair. We're like, "Come on,
Yeah.
you did not gain
Like
like control of
backflips
your
and
legs
shit.
again."
What I liked even better about
Just
these though,
Fortnite Nancy.
she starts flossing. I've been the
Jesus
devil
wants you
out
to
of you.
default
It's like
dance.
92-year-old woman.
Just hit the
Spirit.
default. The hold the L.
Hold the L on Satan.
So they used the healing.
Yeah.
Hold on. My favorite part about the healings, before we move on,
Yeah.
they used chicken livers and other animal tissues. They
Fish
claimed that those were cancerous tissues that have been removed from the bodies of other people who had been healed. So they would
That's
like
cool.
show them a chicken. A little
like an
chicken
inch
liver.
long.
Be like, look at this.
Look.
This was somebody's cancer. We prayed the cancer out, and it's just like a fucking chicken foot. Like
It's funny. It's funny. It's funny.
We-
Like imagining, like,
Handful
how
of
the hell
feathers.
did you pray out against some dude coughing up a
Frog leg.
hairball, and he just coughs up a fucking
It's like a
chicken liver.
toucan beak.
a full chicken, like an entire elephant's foot. This got cancer.
Bucket
This
of
was in
KFC.
here.
God damn, that guy was a sinner. Fuck.
Bucket of KFC's just eating it.
It's a Walmart sticker.
That's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, it's
He's
vile.
alright.
Honestly, the thing about Jonestown is that it was probably
Tire
for like
iron.
the year and a half that it was out, it was
Dildo.
probably pretty lit to be around, like and build
Yeah.
and like be a part of. It was probably
Yeah, I
really
mean, you're
cool.
just kind of doing cool shit.
Until you realize that you can't leave, and then everyone has guns, and that you
Yeah.
could just die,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then, and then you
It's
really
breezy.
don't have a choice. Yeah, and then you're just a prisoner.
Yeah. We could do. Ooh. Hold on. We did Heaven's Gate. We did People's
Yep.
Temple.
Yep,
We did Manson
Oh.
too also.
Manson,
Should we do the Canadian?
the Canadian,
Yes, let's
Roch,
do the Canadian,
Roch
please.
Theriault.
I'm down.
Roch Theriault. I'm not sure his
Roche
Roche
Theriault,
Roch Theriault.
Roche
Called the
Theriault.
Canadian.
That's his name. Hold on here. So you guys can also look him up if you want. I learned nothing about. There you go. Oh, there's a T at the end of
what
that.
the fuck?
Roch Theriault.
Mother,
I'm
motherfucker.
That's Theriault. It's French.
Is that his alt account?
Name spelled like a
It's
fucking
Terry's
wood
alt.
elf. dude.
So
What is
I-
this?
It's like a dwarf.
So
From,
I didn't really
Lord of the
read
Rings.
too much about this guy, but I thought it was hilarious. He called his little group of followers. He called them the Ant Hill Kids. So he convinced a bunch of people to leave their jobs and their homes to join his movement. And they wanted to form a commune where people could freely listen to his motivational speeches, live in unity, equality, and be free of sin. So you had to completely stop talking to your family, everything. And you had to completely dedicate yourself to this guy.
Oh,
A Roch
God.
Theriault.
So
Jesus Christ! The more
where
I
did
read
they
about this guy, the less I like him.
dude, he's crazy. So he
This guy
dude,
was this guy was a fucking jerk.
I love how he doubled down. Hold on. So they went to what they called the Eternal Mountain in Hope. I don't know where that is. It's in Quebec. They went to a mountain in Quebec.
Oh no!
Gross.
And he said that we can all be saved here. We're safe from the apocalypse. That was his shtick. So you know how they all got a shtick, right? Of like, this thing's going to happen. So he said it was going to be the apocalypse. So he took them all to this mountain and said, guys, we can survive the apocalypse here. You just have to follow my teachings. No big deal. And he sat back and he watched them build this commune around him. And he said they were like little worker ants. And he had this date where he said, we're going to live here because the apocalypse is going to happen on this date. And when the apocalypse didn't happen, a lot of people were really upset with him. So what he did to make sure they stay is he got them all pregnant.
Based.
Oh yeah.
Like all of them.
What a boss.
Like,
Yeah.
like
men?
20
All-
like
yes.
26 women. Or no,
would've done that.
26 children, sorry.
Yes.
that's how I would've
20
done it.
If I was a
children with
cool leader, I
9
would've done
female
that.
members.
Yeah,
That's-
nine
I would've
nine
done
female
that.
members. They were nearly 40. So he had he was fucking, but he had 26 kids. He basically just kept farming them for children so that they would stay. And long story short, there was no apocalypse, and people
What?
eventually were
Are we
like,
talking about
"Hey,
Nick Cannon here?
we should probably head out." Yeah, that was he just became an alcoholic and then got arrested. So not that exciting, honestly.
Yeah, he died in prison after they
If a
think a
person-
cellmate killed
if a
him.
person,
Yes,
if a
he got
person-
stabbed
yeah,
in prison.
Yeah, I probably would have killed him
What a
too.
dumbass.
If a
Yeah.
person
Yeah, he got
wished to
stabbed.
leave the commune, Theriault would hit them with either a belt or a hammer, suspend them from the ceiling, pluck each
Dying
of
by
their
a
body
belt.
hairs individually, or even defecate on them.
Dude,
Oh,
imagine
wait, okay.
trying to
Wait,
walk
wait,
home and you
wait.
get poo-pooed on.
That bumps him up on the tier list. I'm gonna put that
Over
in the notes
time,
here. Pooped on people.
Pooped
Theriault's
on.
punishment became increasingly extreme and
Pooped
violent,
on.
including making members break their own legs with sledgehammers,
Damn,
sit
I
on
didn't
lit
hear about
stoves,
that.
shoot each other in the shoulders, and eat dead mice and feces.
Okay, I knew about the mice.
I would have
They
stabbed
ate
this.
fi-
I would have stabbed this guy
This
to
is
death
S
too
tier.
if he was my cellmate.
Ate poop.
Poop
I don't know,
cult.
that guy's
Pooped
kind
on
of fire.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Cult
did.
S plus tier.
He claimed to be a holy being. Started performing unnecessary amateur surgical operations on sick members to demonstrate his healing power.
Oh yeah, he also killed somebody on accident trying to give them surgery because he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yes,
Correct.
he performed circumcisions on the children and adults in the group. He injected a 94% ethanol solution into stomachs. This
That is
guy.
not
I'm glad. I am glad this guy is dead.
Yeah, Roch Theriault, not a good guy.
Yeah,
Not-
stupid
Um,
name too. Fuck that guy.
How silly of me to forget this. In 1989, when follower Solange Boyard complained of an upset stomach, Theriault performed an amateur surgery without anesthesia. He laid her
Ooh.
naked on a table and punched her in the stomach, of course, as you would as a doctor.
Yeah,
and
no,
forced a
that's the right
plastic
thing to
tube
do.
into her rectum to perform a crude enema with molasses and olive oil, as you would as a doctor. He cut
Yeah,
open her
Dr.
abdomen with a
Seuss.
knife and ripped out part of her intestine with his bare hands, as you would as a doctor. Theriault
Good
made another
Lord.
member, Gabrielle Lavallee, stitch her up using needle and thread, as you would as a doctor, and had the other woman shove a tube down her throat and blow through it, as you would as a doctor. Boyard died the next day from the damage inflicted by the procedures, claiming to have the power of resurrection. Theriault had his followers saw off the cap of Boyard's skull, and he ejaculated onto her brain. When Boyard did not return to life,
Huh?
what the fuck? Her corpse was buried a short distance from the commune.
Wait, how did that not work?
That sounds like a
How did she
glorified
not
serial
return to
killer,
life?
I
be
don't get
honest.
it. Why
Did they
didn't
patch
she
that? I
come
don't
back?
understand
He
how that
cummed on
didn't
her
work.
head. No, that
Yeah.
she should have came back.
So very happy
I thought that
this
was
guy
still
is
working.
dead. I hope.
Yeah, that's
I hope
crazy.
I hope it was a very violent, horrible, gruesome death. Do you have this here? Oh, he was. Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, he was stabbed to death in prison.
Yeah, he was by a 60-year-old convicted
stabbed.
murderer, Matthew Gerard McDonald.
The
Yeah.
goat.
Good
The
job.
goat.
The guy with 3
Yeah.
names.
Hell
I gotta
yeah.
say, although this guy was a piece of shit, he's got to get some bonus points for eating
Dude, I
poop.
like how, that's so
Whoa!
crazy though that like the punishment could have been either individually removing hairs from your body
Yeah.
or shattering your femur. Why
Yeah,
is
with the-
what is the
with- yeah,
scaling
You
here?
shatter
Yeah.
your own femur
Yeah,
with a
you
hammer.
shut
Depends
and
on
then
how hot you are.
get shot.
I feel like if you're a big fat
McDonald-
ugly bitch, you gotta break your legs. But if you're fine as hell,
McDonald,
just pluck your
dude,
eyebrows.
this
Who
is
cares?
crazy. From the murder, like when he died in prison, McDonald stabbed Theriault in the neck with a shiv, walked to the officer's station, handed them the weapon, and proclaimed, "That piece of shit is down on the range. Here's the knife.
No
I
way.
sliced him up."
What a G.
What a
What a
goat!
fucking G.
Hold on.
Hell yeah.
That guy-
Yeah, we
that guy-
should get that guy on the podcast.
He needs his own rank.
That being said, the guy who murdered him was a murderer himself and could have done some pretty reprehensible shit. But hey,
Yeah, but you know what?
Redeemed, always
I'm a man
Yeah.
who believes in redemption.
second chances,
Second chances.
McDonald,
are
if you are a
important.
fan and you want to come on, like comment.
yeah, if you're
shit,
listening to
we'll
this
have you on,
podcast
bro.
in prison,
Yeah. If Matthew Gerard McDonald, a friend of the show, if you ever want to come on, just let us know.
Yeah.
Come on.
all right.
Well,
Head.
I hate this anthill rock.
What the hell is that?
road
Looks
guy.
like a goddamn
That's the next one I wanted to talk about. This guy, I
oh,
got
it's like a
personal.
like a-
Oriental.
fitness
I-
logo. Like a fitness
I have
gym.
personal beef with this guy.
What?
It looks like a
Why?
guy with
Like
a gimp
ribeye?
leg.
The big old fucking elephant steak. This guy made me carry around a water bottle in Tokyo for 5 hours before I saw another garbage. This is a motherfucker that was responsible for the Japanese bombings on the train station where they used
Oh.
gas and put them in all the garbage cans.
You met this
And
guy?
now Japan doesn't have garbages anymore because he did a terrorist thing.
I thought he was like, here, take this water bottle, walk around for 5 hours.
And don't put
No.
it down.
You don't put it down. No, I did not meet this
And
guy.
then he went on and killed a bunch of
He
people.
yeah,
So he was part of a cult then.
yeah, he was a cult leader. And he was the one that did the what was it? It was sarin gas, I think it was.
Oh my God, they
Tokyo's-
were executed.
Yeah, they got executed in 20. It was actually like recent.
It's 2018. They were
yeah, I
put
was
to
gonna
death
say,
in
yeah.
2018.
Yeah. I was gonna say it wasn't that long
Like
ago.
by Japan, dude. Capital. I don't know they did capital punishment in Japan.
I mean,
guess
for
they
that
should've
guy,
done
yeah,
so.
because in 1995 they put a bunch of was it 1995? Hold on.
There were
Like
incidents before 1995, but I think it was in
Okay, sarin attack.
1995.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sarin attack.
Yeah, they put chemical weapons closely chemically similar to sarin and coordinated attack on 5 trains in Tokyo subway system, killing 13 commuters, seriously injuring 54 and affecting 980 more. Some estimates claim as many as 6,000 people were injured by the sarin gas. It is difficult to obtain the exact numbers because so many victims are reluctant to come forward. But yeah, because of these attacks, Japan no longer has public garbages fucking anywhere. And this was like 30 years ago. So because of this douchebag, I had to carry around a water bottle in Tokyo the first day I didn't know this was lore. I didn't know they didn't have garbages. So I had to carry my water bottle in hand. It was empty. 5 hours straight.
You couldn't find a place to walk into that had a trash?
They don't have garbages, bro.
You can't. Why don't you just drink the water bottle?
like a
and crush it up
private
so it's
garbage
really
can.
small, and then just put it in your pocket.
I-
Look, we're getting ahead of ourselves. What was the name of this cult?
Something
Aum.
Japanesey.
Aum.
Shing
Left.
Bao.
Aum
Aleph.
Shinrikyo.
chili.
It's called Aleph,
Being
better known by
chili
the former
cult.
name Aum Shinrikyo.
Shinrikyo, I think it would be.
Aum
Damn, they wanted to start an
Shinrikyo.
anthrax epidemic? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
dude, they were fucking
Holy
psychos.
shit.
They were,
Yeah, they
okay,
were
so their
insane.
motivation is that they were a religious movement and a doomsday cult.
Yes, they were a doomsday cult. I forget exactly what they believed, where they were like,
They were a Buddhist new religious movement, a Japanese and Buddhist new religious movement.
I know that it
They were
originally
they were
started.
Dharmic.
I know they
I'm a
originally
Buddhist.
started during yoga meetings.
He
Like, they
knows
would do-
Structure yoga
they would do
meetings. It literally
yoga.
says structure yoga meetings.
Yeah, they would literally do
You're doing
yoga
hot
meetings.
hot
and
yoga. with
hot
fucking
yoga and
sarin
talk
gas.
about bombing of train station.
That's what the fuck?
There's so much cooler shit you could have been getting up to in Japan in the 1980s and 1990s.
I know, dude. You could have just been fucking. I feel like that was peak like
or
Tokyo
being
culture.
Being a salary man, getting drunk.
Yeah. No, instead
This
he's
is
just.
insane.
Yeah, they also did like assassinations. So basically anybody in government or like notable figure that was against their cult, like anybody that was critical of it, they would straight up just fucking assassinate. They were insane.
So they're just like a terrorist group.
Yeah, like legitimately, but they were like, they were like cute about it.
Hallucinogens in yoga.
Yeah, yeah, they did a lot. What was it? Acid?
Yep, a lot of LSD.
Yeah, LSD. Yeah.
Which typically won't make you want to.
No, I feel like that makes you want to listen to like,
people.
bro, they had like Pink Floyd, what are we doing? We're in the 80s. We're not, you still,
That's
you
what I'm
could
saying.
have listened to some classics, put on, at that point,
Put
they
on
would have
the
been like,
wall?
they would have been, nostalgic to Pink Floyd. Throw that on, sit back, do hot yoga, enjoy your LSD, sweat it out with the boys. Come on, man. How are you?
I don't know.
They're at the foot of Mount Fuji too. Come on. How nice. What a nice area. Yeah, I don't know.
Apparently
I don't know why they're so mad.
1,600 members of this
Wait,
community.
still?
Apparently, or maybe this is just saying in the past.
I hope not. Damn.
Oh no, yeah, 2005.
Okay, I was gonna say they fucking shot.
If they're still around now, I hope not.
Yeah, they shot those motherfuckers. Yeah, that one didn't have.
Did they get shot or did they get like lethally injected?
I'm not sure actually. Let's find out. How?
I'm
Thank you
having a
for the
look.
noise, McNasty.
You're welcome, babe.
Where the hell is?
Shin. Fuck, this guy's got a lot of vowels in his name.
Yeah, Shoko Asahara, Yoshihiro Inoue, Tomomitsu Nimi. They got such cute names for terrorists.
I know. Oh, dude, he looks like a cute little guy.
Would you fuck him?
No.
Come on.
No. I don't know if it'll show why they died or how they killed them.
You mean they didn't just upload that shit to Twitter?
Whittle.
No, they didn't.
Whittle.
They didn't say how. I don't know. I don't know if Japan. I don't know how. I don't know.
Yeah, how does
I'm
Japan
curious
do
how-
it? They got
how
samurais
does
in that
Japan-
bitch fucking slopping heads.
Seppuku.
I wouldn't,
How would I Google this?
I would probably rather get shot over getting gassed.
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
or lethally injected.
Well, lethal injection doesn't always work.
Or the electric chair. I don't like.
Oh
the
my
electric chair
fucking
either.
god, dude! They still just hang people.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah.
No,
That's the way
honestly,
to do it.
I fuck
Holy
with that
shit.
too. If we're gonna be legit, if we're gonna be real, like there's some real math that goes into that, and it's very effective.
Yeah, no, it is. Well, that's what I've ever told you about
it
the
ain't
upright
pretty.
jerker.
It ain't pretty. What?
What'd you say? You call it?
Jerker.
The upright jerker. I've told the other goons about this.
No.
So the upright jerker was essentially, I'm trying to think of the best way to like.
He jerks upright.
It was basically like a trebuchet kind of thing, but there was a person attached to it instead of like a launching mechanism.
Oh,
so
and
there
it
was a
would-
counterweight, so it would pull you, and you would get whipped up in the air.
Oh,
and, it would
and
snap
not
your-
like you don't drop. It just
it would just
energy-
fling your body.
like
It would
a mouse trap.
It literally like no, not even that, dude. It would literally like
All right, I'm
like
looking it up.
launch you through the air, but you would still be on the rope, so your neck would just snap because of like the
Get
centripetal
fucked.
force.
The upright
Yeah.
jerker was an execution method and device intermittently used in the United States during the 1900s and early 20th century.
The upright-
Intended to replace hangings, the upright jerker did not see widespread use and was phased out in the 1930s. What the
That's
fuck?
insane.
This is crazy.
It's not even
Yeah.
that long ago.
Yeah,
This
they had
is
a few.
crazy.
They had a few years of upright jerking before they were like,
Cord
all right,
would be
let's knock
wrapped
it off.
around the neck of the condemned. Whoever, rather than dropping down through a trapdoor, the condemned would be violently jerked into the air by means of a system of weights and pulleys.
Yeah, so it literally launched them in the air and jerked their head.
Imagine
Called
my
it
disappointment.
automatic gallows.
Yeah.
Imagine my disappointment as a prisoner being told you're getting the upright jerker, thinking something else was going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
finally!
then, and then, your neck gets snapped instead.
Dude, listening to fucking old torture punishments were crazy. We talked about that a while.
We should do another one of those.
Yeah, I'll do another one.
Sometime.
Piona coli. That one's a crazy one too. You ever heard of that one, Swagger?
Piona coli sounds like a
So it was
bacteria.
Roman. We'll move back onto the cults real quick after this
Oh wait,
because we've already talked about this.
This is a
No, this is a
torture
punishment.
execution method?
Yeah, this was a punishment.
We need an entire
we did
episode.
one. We did one a long time ago when we had Smitty on. I'll find more though because I literally didn't even scratch the surface. But this one made me
There's some
laugh.
good ones.
So they would sew up a leather sack to a person.
Yeah.
They would
what?
so you're literally getting sewn into a leather sack with
I know the one
with a
the
dog,
rattlesnake,
a snake,
dog,
Yeah.
a
and a
monkey, a chicken, and then to top it off, they toss you in the water.
Yeah, they throw you in a river.
I thought this was complete bullshit when you first told me this.
No,
Yeah.
dude,
Because I'm
that's
like, what's
fucked.
the chicken for? How does the chicken end to your execution at
A
all?
hamster, a bug,
A goose, a squirrel.
A
goldfish,
It's
half of a cow.
funny when you think about it. It's like they basically put like four really like animals that don't go well together in panic in
Yeah.
proximity to each other.
Yeah.
And it's just going to cause chaos. And then on top of it, they all drown. Like everybody drowns, dude. Like you can.
Like, they didn't
why
even
are you
need to
punishing
do that.
The dog.
Bro.
What did the dog do?
Yeah, like the dog is not gonna. I feel like the dog's just gonna try to get out. The dog's not gonna attack. Like the
Well, you're
monkey
so-
is gonna be
no,
attacking. The monkey's gonna be going crazy in there.
They're all going to be going crazy.
Do you think they just had like a supply of monkey?
Dude, yeah, hell yeah.
Like,
guess.
specifically
They were
for
breeding the
this? Like,
motherfuckers.
You wanna go
dude.
to the
Back in
zoo.
the olden days, if you were colonizing fucking Africa, if I was colonizing Africa back then, not to
Yeah,
say
I'm
I
bringing
agree
monkey.
with it,
I'm bringing
but
monkey
dude,
back.
I see a fucking chimp, boom, that shit's mine, bitch. And then, that probably wouldn't be great or anything, but I'm putting myself in the mind of a settler. Of like a
As you do.
1700s, 1600 settler. I'm grabbing the monkey off of the tree and I'm stowing it, and I'm probably gonna breed it for money,
Or toss it into a sack
or
to
toss
kill
it into
guy.
a sack, with
A leather
with-
sack to make it freak out with a bunch of other animals.
All right, we got Church of the Firstborn of the Lamb of God.
Yeah, I figured we'd get back on top. This one's one of
Yeah,
my
okay,
favorites
okay.
because his name is Irvil LeBaron. Bro, he literally has a
Irvil?
cartoon evil dude. How
It's
close is his name?
Irvil
Dude,
LeBron.
I
Irvil
read it. I
Redenbacher.
read his name as Evil LeBron so many times, and
Oh,
I just
God.
picture that meme of LeBron with the little devil horns every time I read his name.
Evil Brown.
Evil LeBron was responsible for dozens of deaths over 2 decades.
I believe it.
What's even funnier is after Evil LeBron died, the rest of the cult was run by several of LeBron's teenage sons. So Bronny Jr. had the cult, bro.
That's not bad.
Yeah, no, he was LeBaron. But yeah, this was a big ass cult.
A polygamist Mormon
Asshole.
fundamentalist group who ordered the killings of many of his opponents, both within his own sect and in rival polygamous groups, using the religious doctrine of blood atonement to justify the murders.
Yeah, they literally were like, so they believed that they were doing people a favor when they killed them.
Nice.
Like, yeah, if you had sin, the only way you could be relieved of sin is by dying. The only way you could be like cleansed of it. So they were like,
they're like, oh, did we do that guy?
So the leader, Mr. Evil LeBron, knew what he was doing by having his followers kill, competing churches and stuff like that. He was trying to get power. He was trying to get, a monopoly over it. But he gaslit them into thinking that they were helping these other churches and they were saving them from sin by killing them. So they would just straight up just fucking murder people and be like, "We did them a favor. You're welcome, pal."
Yeah, I mean, it's logic.
It's something like that.
I don't know if it's great.
No,
Damn,
no,
but
Evil LeBron was crazy.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, I guess. If it's like, hey, I want you to murder this guy, and then you go, no, I don't want to do that. You'd be like, well, the guy's really bad. You're like, no, I still don't want to do that. Well, you're doing him a favor.
You're helping him out. Come on,
You're
pal.
helping him
You're
out.
doing
He's
him a
gonna
little
kill him.
favor.
He's gonna go to heaven. He's gonna go to heaven, and you're gonna go to hell. You're doing him a favor. Oh, you already killed that one guy. You're already going to hell. You might as well kill the other guy and do him a favor.
What's crazy about?
I should do this shit.
You could be a cult
Shit's
leader.
easy.
I could be a
What's
cult
crazy
leader.
about these guys too is when their dad died, the sons, both of them argued with the followers to say that they were the real, the one true son. So then they started beefing, and then those got split up into separate cults, and they like went off. And I think at the end of it, there was like 6 different sub cults within the cult that were all just, it was all just fucked.
Did they have a big cult war?
I don't know if they had a big cult war.
What is it about
Damn it.
Mormons and like fucking a bunch of people and then all of a sudden starting to make a cult out of it? There's so many like Cult of the Latter-day Saints or Church of the Latter-day Saints. Or
The olden day Mormons were fucking crazy.
dude, the oldest of the oldest Mormons. I'm so sorry to cut you off. But
No,
it
no,
just
you're
popped
good.
into my head. In the early 1900s, late 1800s, they had Mormons, polygamous Mormons that I don't think were based in Utah. I think they were somewhere else. Maybe it was Utah, but they outlawed polygamy. They were starting to outlaw polygamy in the United States.
No
and
way.
these groups of Mormons went down to Mexico to like resettle where polygamy was legal. So you have these Mormon sects in parts of Mexico that were growing and growing, and you have like these compounds of like 40 to 100 Mormons like living and doing their shit. And so the cartel, I forget exactly who the parties involved were, but I know this cartel went to like extort the Mormons for money, and the Mormon outside told them to get fucked. He was like collecting mail, and he just said, "We're not giving you fucking money, fuck you," and then left. And then the next time he went out to get mail, they fucking killed him. The cartel shot him up. And the next time they came they killed the Mormons. The cartel came and shot the Mormon guy for not giving him money.
That's what a crazy collab. I didn't know that this happened.
And so what happens is the Mexican cartel goes back to be like, all right, well, we're here to collect. The Mormons were prepped with guns, dude, and they fucking killed like everybody in the car.
Oh, dude, the Mormons were crazy. They were fucking wild. They during the Utah War. Fuck, hold on, let me pull it up. I forget exactly what it was.
War?
Yeah, there was it was in the 1800s. I want to say 18.
That sounds lame as shit on paper.
1860 or something. See, that sounds like 1857. So
Mormon
the Utah
settlers
War,
and federal troops.
dude, they literally, it was literally like the government versus Mormons.
1857 and 1858.
Dude, the Mormons committed a mass murder on a wagon train, a big train of settlers, people just trying to live their life and survive in Utah. They killed 120 people. The only thing they spared was like 9 children under the age of 6, and by spare I mean they kidnapped them and brought them to Arkansas. So
Cool.
It's almost a fate worse than death.
yeah, Mormons were fucking wild. They were not messing around there. Yeah, they were just fucking killing indigenous people having 6 wives.
It was a different time. Like, I don't think we should be so judgmental. We haven't lived in their shoes. Okay?
I bet they got real uncomfortable shoes.
I don't think
They're black Nikes.
Yeah, they wouldn't get black Nikes or wooden clogs. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, we shouldn't judge. I feel like, if there's any Mormons, any Mormon listeners of the show, any friends of the show, especially if you're high up in the Mormon hierarchy, we'd love to have you on.
Dude, that would be crazy.
About Mormonism. I want to know about your magic Mormon underwear and why you have to cut out the runes when someone who isn't Mormon touches them.
Wait, what?
You don't know about this?
No.
Mormons have magic underwear, magic undergarments, and on the nipples or where your genitals are, there's like magic runes that get sewn into the thing. But if somebody desecrates your magic underwear, then the woman of the house needs to take your undergarment, and they need to cut the runes out, and then they need to burn the undergarment.
What if I desecrate my own undergarments on accident?
If it's yours, you're chill. If it's yours, you're chill. I think the likelihood of you shitting your magic undergarments are very low. They have a blessing on them.
Father, I've shit my runes.
I've ruined my runes. I've ruined them. I got a skid mark on my rune.
Yeah, very curious.
My runes
So
are
if you're
red.
a Mormon, if you're a real honest to God, true Mormon, and you want to spread some Mormon positivity, then come on the Goons podcast. We'd love to have you.
Try not to bring your firearms, apparently.
Yeah, dude, you're
Damn.
native. Heads up, man. You might be
Oh,
fucked.
shit.
You
You're
might be
native?
cooked.
I might be, yeah, like 98%. You should tell.
You seriously native?
Like, very little. Yeah, my grandfather was like
He's native to
nearly
Chick-fil-A
full.
land.
Hell
True.
yeah. In Australia, it's actually extremely rude to ask an Indigenous Australian person how Indigenous they are, which is a very American question, right?
Yeah.
And it comes from a place of innocence and wanting to get to know them, and you're curious about a person's heritage, and you're trying to, it's an American thing. It wasn't meant to be. It's not meant to be taken any which way. But there's a very big culture in Australia that, like, so there's an Indigenous friend of mine, and I said, "Hey, man, you're Indigenous? How Indigenous are you?" And everybody looked at me like,
You
"What?
did not.
Did you just fucking say it?" And he looked at me, he's like, "Nah, dude, it's cool, it's fine." He doesn't know. And then he started explaining to me, like, the trials and tribulations that Native Australians went through for like the last 150 years. And how, like, up until the 1950s, they were considered flora and fauna. Like, it was
What?
yeah, like
Damn.
they were like,
Dude,
literally
imagine being held
the-
on the same status as lettuce.
Yeah, if you're like if you're
flora.
indigenous Australian, the very indigenous ones are like black, very
Yeah.
very very dark skinned.
Yeah.
But they have genes that are so recessive that in 1 or 2 generations they don't
They
white,
don't look like it.
very 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 white. So
Yeah.
like Australians over like a period of like 100 years tried to like forcefully breed out the native population. And so if
Holy
you
fuck.
you asking like somebody, "Oh, you're native, how much are you?" is like a huge insult.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like,
because
no
yeah,
matter
it's like,
how
saying-
no matter
Yeah.
how white I look, if a fucking a tribal elder declares me as a fucking indigenous Australian, that's not for you to question. And I was like, "I'm sorry. I just wanted to know if you were like, I don't know, fucking a quarter or a 16th. I was just curious."
damn.
Yeah,
No,
super
it's none of
common
your
question here.
biz. None of your biz.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you say you're Native American in America, people go, "Oh, what? You're Native on how much? I'm on 64th Cherokee."
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Yeah.
Literally do.
Yeah.
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 So it's a whole different thing. But yeah, very very testy
Huh.
over here with that regard, which is kind of crazy.
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, that does check out.
That is very
little,
valid.
little diatribe. Not to get off a great topic.
I
Of
posted
cults?
the last one we can yap about because this one's kind of funny because of how strict they were. This is the movement for restoration of the 10 Commandments of God.
Awesome.
They need to shorten that shit.
Yeah.
They're going back.
MRTCG.
They're going back to the OG rules
Correct.
before God vaulted all that shit.
God has vaulted the 10 Commandments.
God
Earth
vaulted the Ten
update.
Commandments.
So
So let's see here. It was a
so they
religious
believed
movement
they believed in it was in Uganda.
in Uganda.
Yep, during
You
the
gotta
AIDS
be kidding me.
pandemic. So, people were at a very fragile state, given, the AIDS pandemic and also
Oh, AIDS. Yep.
the
Big fan.
the Ugandan Bush war that was happening and many other things
Ooh,
at
Bush
the
did
time.
this too.
Bush.
So
Bush
they
is there?
were
Bush does fucking everything, man.
yes, the Ugandan Bush war. George Bush was there fighting in the Ugandan Bush war. He was there.
If there was a lot of Bush, you see why there'd be so much AIDS.
Yeah,
too.
long story short, they were obsessed with the 10 Commandments.
Awesome.
Again, they were
Relatable.
another apocalypse one. They
Alright.
believed in the apocalypse.
I just want to set
Mhm.
the tone here and go through the 10 Commandments just so that we know what they believed in.
Yep. Okay.
That's okay. So, Commandment 1, thou shalt not commit adultery. Pretty good.
Yep.
Guilty.
2, you shall not bear false witness. Sure.
So that
Okay.
one is actually that one's. Are you reading those in order? Because I think that's a ninth commandment, right?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Not in order.
Yeah.
Not in
So
order.
that's actually the ninth commandment. So with this
Look
cult,
at this fucking guy.
I have it up on my monitor, bro. I don't know my
Oh,
fucking 10
oh.
commandments. No.
Or actually, that's commitment died.
We'll have to, yeah. We'll have to get Nogla in here if we want to know these in order off the top of somebody's dome.
In the Irish,
And he's very, very Christian. But
he'll do it.
yeah, so the ninth commandment is you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. So essentially you will not lie or like misrepresent your neighbor, stuff like that. But they had that rule so hammered into their head, people in the cult would often just not speak because it's such an ambiguous rule.
Oh,
Yeah.
So they were so scared to accidentally like talk shit or misrepresent anything like that. So people would legitimately like buy into this cult and go nonverbal. They would just not speak. Like many of the cult members just straight up did not speak because they were so scared of doing that. Other than like they'd be like simple yes no things that can never be misconstrued. They'd never
They
like
did sign language.
yeah, they'd never have like an opinion or anything. Yeah.
This is their sign language to everybody.
Yeah, right.
You're breaking the ninth commandment currently.
You shall not steal. Honor your father and your mother. You shall not kill. You shall not covet, which is a good band, by the way. Covet's a good band. Remember to keep the
what even is covet?
Covet. They shall not covet. Covet is to like
yearn or
envious.
yearn to possess something.
Jealousy.
yeah, it's like possess into like
I can't want like a ham sandwich.
Not want
Like
to
this.
relinquish like the value that you covet. You know, it's like something that you keep for yourself. Almost.
So
good
you
band.
can't yearn for you can't yearn for a ham sandwich.
As well, I would recommend Covet.
Covet? Don't think I've listened to them.
Covet. Really good band. Really good band. Hey, check them out. Shall not murder. Pretty good last one. And you shall not make idols. We don't follow the fucking shit out of that. We got Nicki Minaj, we got Bad Baby.
Yeah.
Too many.
Yeah, Justin Bieber at some point. Yeah, no, big problem. Again, they were apocalyptic. They believed what was theirs?
Not a lot of good feely cults.
No, nobody was ever like I think that you guys are all gonna hit the lottery. You know, come hang out with me and we'll all hit the lottery together. It was always like,
come hang out with my cult. We'll go to the Pokies and win money at the casino.
That I would be there in a heartbeat. I'd be in that
dude,
cult.
Imagine that. But dude, imagine a cult where like you're super mega rich, you get $1 billion, and you're just giving people like $100 a day to gamble. And you're just like it's like every time you win, God is speaking to you.
You're pleasing God.
And oh, you want $1,000 on black? I gotta fuck your wife now. God told me I need to fuck your wife now. Come on. And also I need 500 of that.
Yeah. Also,
yeah, that's pretty cool.
$20,000 my cult, bitch.
That was God. That's for God. That's God's task.
God said I need to be a multimillionaire.
God said hit on 16. You fucking
hit on
told
what
me,
age?
dude.
God was a little freak, bro. What's the age of consent in Israel?
Probably 2.5.
God might have been a little freak, dude. What's
Hang on, I gotta look it up.
Oh no, I didn't mean it. I'm not going to Israel, bro.
I'm curious.
They won't like me in Israel.
I want to know what the age of consent is there. 16. All right.
Hey, you know what? Jesus wasn't, or God wasn't in the wrong, I guess. A lot of legal way.
No.
Anyway.
It ain't Japan.
So the apocalypse claims were that on January 1st, 2000, everything was going to everything was just gonna. What'd they think? Was it gonna blow up? What'd they think this one? Did they have a fun one?
It's never anything like, oh, chocolate's gonna rain down and drown us. It's always something.
Oh no, sorry. They moved the apocalypse because January 1st didn't happen, and they said that the Bible old calendar and their current calendar didn't match up. The math didn't work out, so they moved it to March 17th, 2000. You wouldn't fucking believe it. That passed by and the world didn't end. So that's fun. So what they did is instead of moving it for a third time, they committed mass suicide.
Yeah,
Fuck it, we'll do it ourselves.
I just they're like, oh, the world's not going to end. It's all relative, anyways. If we die, the world ends, and so we win, and we're not wrong.
We're tired of waiting
What
for
a
this
fucking
shit.
what a dumbass hill to die on.
So the locals said that the cult had a massive party where they
Cool.
Were
That sounds
they-
fun.
roasted 3 bulls, so they had 3 full cows,
3 giant cows.
and then they drank 70 crates of soft drinks, mostly Coca-Cola.
Dude,
Hell yeah.
you know, the biggest mistake they made is that they weren't drinking Gamer Subs that you could get a Gamer Subs
True.
GG
On
and
God.
GOONS for 10% off.
They
It's
would've
so
died
much
if they did
better
that.
than
Fuck
there's
Kool-Aid,
0
Fuck
calories.
Coca-Cola, you get 0 calories, a lot of energy. It's keto free. There's no fillers. It's cost effective. You gotta fucking put out 900 doses. You can do that with 9 tubs.
Is there 100 a tub? There is. It's
100
on the
doses
tub.
per tub, baby.
Look at that. Tub's nice and big on my screen. There you go.
Nice and big screen right
Wow, that
there.
is a crazy
You get some-
high-res photo.
Yeah,
I know.
You can get some,
Grandma.
get some Crusader Aid, get some Grandma.
Crusader Aid, Grandma's Ashes, both
use
are great.
codes GOONS.
Code Goons.
And just do not add any cyanide
Yeah,
or
yeah.
anything of the sort. I would recommend against that
I
part of
think-
the recipe.
I think the thing we've learned most from all these cults today is that don't drink a soft drink given to you by a leader of any sort, unless it's maybe Grandma's Ashes. Then you can have a little bit.
If they're wearing sunglasses, or if they're maybe if they're also fucking your wife, don't do it.
If Jared Leto gets you pregnant, don't drink a Sprite from him. That's all I'm saying.
If Jared Leto comes in you and you don't take a Plan B, also don't drink the Kool-Aid or the Pepsi.
True. Can I get back to this party now? Because it gets pretty hype.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, of course.
No, of course. So just minutes after the members arrived to the party, an explosion went off, killing all 530 people.
What the fuck?
It was a short ass party, huh?
What the fuck? It's not the
Dude.
way I expected that to happen.
What was the point of roasting 3 bulls if you're just gonna fucking blow everyone up before they even get to eat the
That's
bull?
so cool.
Why
Look at
even
this sick
wait?
buffet.
Dude, they literally just showed them. They showed them a glimpse of heaven.
Dude,
70 crates of soft drinks, 3 bulls, and so they did it with 50 liters of sulfuric acid. Which started the fire. But what blows my fucking mind is that it is well documented, Ugandan authorities saw the cult leader buying 50 liters of sulfuric acid, and they didn't go,
Yeah.
hey, whoa,
What
what's
all that
all
for,
about?
huh?
They
What was
just
that?
said-
What's that shit?
you know, I don't know, he's got the 3 bulls, he's hosting a party, surely he wouldn't kill himself.
It's probably for fireworks.
And
or
then
something.
they did, yeah. And then they,
What the
craziest-
fuck, man?
So the
It's
craziest thing about this, though, is that 3 of the founding members, I think it was 6 people, don't quote me on that, I think it was 6 people that started it, but 3 of them just dipped, and they just have never been found. They just got
Oh.
away. Yeah, so they're still out there.
Well, cool. It's good to know.
Yeah, so they're probably pretty old now.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, they did
Dude,
like
oh my
child labor
God.
and kidnapping and all sorts of
Oh,
crazy
I'd
shit.
be so fucking mad, dude. Imagine you're like, oh, I'm so hungry, man. I'm so
Oh,
hungry.
dude,
This bowl
I
smells
could eat
so
a
good.
fucking
He's like-
bull right now,
Yeah,
and then
you're
And then
oh
you're
my
just
God.
black ash on
and
the
they
wall.
they have soda.
70, yeah. So, oh my God, 70 crates. This is gonna be the best
70
party
crates?
ever. Blow up minutes after.
Dude, why
minutes
wouldn't
after
you
the party
fucking-
started.
Why wouldn't you wait until people are done eating? You fucking asshole.
Waste.
It's literally a waste in Uganda.
Well, hold on.
fucking Uganda.
Maybe that's how they roasted the bulls.
Oh, that's how they roasted it in the sulfuric
Maybe the
acid.
bull. Maybe there just happened to be 3 bulls walking around in there, and they were like, "Nah, you're roasting them."
Yeah. They're like, oh yeah, no, these bulls had to have been roasted.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all I got from them. Those were funny.
Yeah, what the fuck?
What do we want to rate these up real quick, or what do we want to do
All right.
with these?
We could.
All right, let's start with what is the best cult out of all that we've discussed. We got Jonestown, we have Manson family, we have Aum Shinrikyo, we have the Church of the Firstborn, the Lamb of God, and then we have the movement of the restoration of the 10 Commandments of God, which is what we just went over, the Ugandan one. And then we also have the fucking crazy dude who janked off on the bitch's skull.
Yep. Mr. Theriault.
Ant Hill bitch.
Yep. Ant Hill.
Is
Yep.
that all we went through?
Yep. Yeah. We got the 6.
All right.
Yeah, checks out.
As
I
far
mean,
as ones that
what are we?
Heaven's Gate.
Heaven's
Oh
Gate.
yeah. And yeah.
7 there.
Yeah, 7. Sorry. So what are we rating them on? We have to. Are we rating them on like would I join the cult, or are we rating them on like how fucking crazy that cult is?
I would probably. It's true.
I think member size matters too. How many people they got converted?
Because like if we're just rating
like,
based on how fucking insane the cult is, the Ant one by far.
The Ant
Hill kids, dude, that's insane.
Yep.
That's like S+ tier. Like you convinced people to leave their family, get shot, impregnate 9 women, like
eat poop,
dude. Eat poop,
surgery,
pick your hairs off, like dude. This guy's got to be the craziest
stuff.
person. This has got to be the craziest one.
Yeah, no, good thing he's dead. Yep.
Yeah, Roch Theriault has to be number 1, right?
Yes, that's top. Yeah, that's top of the list.
That's S tier.
He's S tier. He's got to be S tier
for fucked up cults. Jonestown is not.
Jonestown's got to be. Jonestown's got to be number 2. I mean, you made 900 people drink Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
And babies and kids and killed the senator. Not being
and killed the senator. Yeah. Is that isn't there footage of Jonestown? Like a lot of footage?
There's footage of all the bodies you can watch through helicopter. There's footage of
because there's
you
can
see
see
the senator and the cameraman getting shot.
Well, you can see
the airfield.
You can also see the oh fuck! I didn't want to download it from the FBI website, bro. What the fuck? What the? Oh my god!
You didn't
bro.
want to?
Oh my god! I'm actually.
What are you looking at the Jonestown massacre?
This is straight up FBI footage of the Jonestown massacre. Jesus Christ! Okay, you can just download that from their website, by the way.
Yeah, you can just Google image it too, and you see all the bodies. They're all purple.
Is this the one? There's like a super famous clip of like the. I'm not sure which government agency it was, but they're all like lined up outside the window with their guns, and they get shot through the wall. Like they're like lined up on the house, and somebody wall bangs them with like an AK.
I can't recall this.
Yeah, I don't know. That might have just been like fucking siege footage that I misremembered.
Just gotta be call footage.
Yeah, the Jonestown one has got to be number 2. I mean, making 900 people drink Kool-Aid, and they had 20,000 claimed members, so that's insane.
Yeah,
it's got to be number 2.
I would probably number 3. The bastards from Japan.
Yeah, I would think Japan. I mean, they got generational pull. There is still no garbage pails because of them.
They fucked up. Yeah,
they ruined my trip to Japan.
Ruined that for everybody. So that's a shame. I would say underneath that, now we're getting into, well, I don't know. I would say probably the Church of the Firstborn Lamb of God, the Mormons.
Yeah, those were fucking crazy. They were like straight up
killing them. That killing people was a good thing.
Yeah, led by evil LeBron.
By evil LeBron, can't have that. The Ugandans probably go next.
Actually, no, I feel like the Ugandan has to go above them. No, the Uganda has to do. They killed 500 people. They killed
and cock-teased them with food.
They killed 503 people and escaped. No, they're above the Japanese. No, they're above the Japanese. Dude, they killed 500 people and got out. They got out lickety split after killing. They blew. No, they got to be a
heist.
Yeah, they swapped the Japanese with them.
So far, it's what's at the top?
We got Roch Theriault,
French guy with poop.
Yep.
People's Temple.
Jonestown. Yep, Jonestown. Then we have the movement for the restoration of the 10 Commandments of God.
Yep.
And then we got
and then we have the
Shinrikyo.
Aum Shinrikyo, then the Mormons.
Then the Mormons. And then now we're down to Heaven's Gate.
With Heaven's Gate and Manson obviously worse.
Heaven's Gate's
next. Yeah, Heaven's Gate's next.
The most tame out of all of them.
Well, but I think they're a better cult. Manson wasn't even, dude. He wasn't even a good cult. He was just a fucking racist little weirdo.
But he killed a lot of people.
9 people. You know, Heaven's Gate also killed 9 people.
Yeah, but they all suicided. They only killed themselves.
Yeah.
And
never mind. No, Heaven's Gate was 39 people.
Technically, they didn't die. technically they didn't die. They got sent to.
Yeah,
the
no, sorry.
Halley's
That
Comet.
they had it out. Yeah, they left.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
physical forms, parents.
Also,
but
dude,
they're
this guy convinced them.
essence.
Dude, they have to go above Manson. He convinced them to buy alien abduction insurance, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude, yeah, I'll give it to him.
All
I'll
right,
give
the
it to him.
Manson's last. Manson's the
Manson's
fucking
last 'cause he's
racist dork
stupid
who
and
convinced a bunch of
racist.
white girls to go kill a fucking
It's not
movie
that
star.
hard. It's not that hard to manipulate white girls.
No.
Especially if they're on acid. So
Yeah, no, I mean
sorry,
that makes it a
Manson.
lot easier.
Sorry, man.
Yeah.
he had to use PEDs for his.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that is one of the lists of all time that we have made.
That was great.
That was an episode of the Goons podcast today.
That was. I hope you enjoyed this fantastic episode of the Goons podcast. It was good to
Mm-hmm.
be here. Good to go over some cults.
Yep, download on Spotify. Is it down? Yeah, it's down on Spotify. Soup used to do these. Damn, I still suck at them. Like the video if you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe if you're on YouTube.
And comment below what your favorite cult is.
Yeah, or if there's anything else you want us to talk about, any other fun, weird little topics, we'll, even if we don't know about it, we'll research it on the go like we did today for the most part. Anything you want to hear from us, feel free to let us know. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
See ya.